I did it.
Episode five,
Five.
six,
Five.
five. Episode five. We made it. We made it 5 episodes. I think it's pretty good. That
I'm
shows commitment.
still going strong, as far as I'm
Yeah,
concerned.
yeah. Um, I don't
Uh,
have. I don't think I have too much this week.
I
Not
mean,
really
like,
much happened.
fucking hell of a week, man. I'll tell you that. At least on my
I,
end.
I mean, fires again. Still, that's what heavy smoke.
I mean, by the time
Uh,
by the time that comes out, fires will be old news.
hopefully they will be old
I
news.
Here comes the rain again, man. That was a
Yeah.
blessing yesterday.
Also, let's get our sponsor out of the way.
Oh,
I'm drinking a baby Coke,
baby
so there you
Coke,
go,
not just Coke, baby Coke.
baby Coke. So I don't know where this came from. I found it in the fridge, so it's like somebody must have left it here. I don't know. It's mine now.
Take what you got and give nothing back.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Tell me about your week.
So I've mentioned before the like charity mini painting event for NOCF, Nova Open Charitable Foundation.
Yep.
They're doing their whole like paint four armies, Ultramarines, Sisters of Battle, Necrons, and Thousand Suns, like four popular armies that are kind of popping off right now. And when I found out about it, all of the things to paint had been snatched up. So I was like, I'll throw myself on the waiting list. It's
Yeah.
fine, whatever, no big deal. I was literally sitting down thinking about the paint plan for this guy for your model.
Oh yes.
I was literally sitting down thinking about the paint plan, and my phone goes off with an email, and it's like something I don't recognize, and I look it up, and it's like, "Hi, I'm so and so from the Nova Open Charitable Foundation. You're on the wait list for the Miniac 2020 charity event, and we need you to paint 10 infiltrators." So that's what that is.
That's awesome. That's good stuff. I think
So
I caught something you posted on Instagram, was it yesterday or a couple days ago.
I've been
Uh,
posting since I got them and doing stuff. So here's how that went down. This was Tuesday. It's now Saturday. Tuesday, I get the email and I go, okay, they want me to do it. Great. Can I even get the kit? Check the
yeah.
local shops. Like the closest local shop, literally like a 30-minute walk down the road, sold out. Or they weren't even open. They weren't even open
Oh geez.
because they're only open on like Wednesday through Saturday. It's fine. It's whatever. It's a game store. They focus on like Magic
Yeah.
and D&D and Warhammer, so it's a game store. Nerds sleep late. Fine, whatever. And like even when they do normally open, they don't open till like noon.
About
Which
right.
again, that's like the same hours that like a Games Workshop store keeps. Which, by the way, Games Workshop is closed on Sunday through Tuesday too. And there is a Games Workshop store in Portland. So I was like, okay, I'll check the next closest store that's actually open today. They didn't have it.
Oh man.
I checked Games Workshop down in Portland. Like, I'd be a bus ride because my car's not working right now. But, hey, fine, great, whatever. I'll make the trip. Games Workshop is closed. Fine, okay. I'll call the big game store in Portland, Guardian Games, and see if they've got it. Like, last ditch effort. This is gonna be a bitch and a half to get to. Fine, whatever. Okay, I give them a call. Hey, do you have the Warhammer 40k Infiltrator Squad? Oh yeah, we just got a bunch of those in. And I was like, cool, sell me one.
Quickly now, sell me.
Yeah. So
I
like
buy.
I literally paid for it over the phone. And like, yeah, I paid for it over the phone. set up for curbside pickup. I tell Juliana what's going on, and she's like, "Oh, cool." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna take the bus down there." And she's like, "Just take the bus to me, and then drive my car to work." And I went, "Yeah, I'll do that." So I
Yes.
go to take the bus, and the bus route, for whatever reason, like Juliana was like, "Here's the bus route to get from home to work," and I was like, "Cool." And for whatever reason, the one she picked out has me walking 30 minutes to get to a bus stop that's way far away, and then taking a bus to get that's basically a straight shot to where she's at. Fine, whatever. So I walk down there, and I'm like, I am booking it. I am full, like, power walk going. Like, thank God I wear a kilt, because, man, I'd be chafing. Get that breeze. And, you know, it's
That's
smoky, and there's a pandemic, so I'm wearing a mask, so I'm all
Yep.
hot and bothered. And I get down there as the bus is driving by.
Oh man.
And I'm like, fuck. And it's a 30-minute bus.
Oh
So it's on a
shit.
30-minute rotation. So I'm like, okay, fine.
Okay.
I'll just start walking along the route until I get to a stop and I have 10 minutes left. Cool.
Yeah.
Start
makes sense.
walking. Just so I can continue making progress. So I'm not just standing there with a thumb up my ass. I'm actually like
Yeah.
going. So I'm going and going and going, and like I'm, you know, checking Google, and like anytime I get to a stop I check, and it's like, okay, 20 minutes, whatever, keep walking. Then I finally get to a stop, and it's like, okay, bus will be here in 10 minutes. Cool. I sit, I wait, like I'm catching my breath, get a little bit of a breather. You know, still dealing with the smoke. My eyes are burning.
Oh yeah.
And then, like, I'm checking Google and seeing all this stuff, and something happened. Like, I misread it, or something went fucky, and it said that the bus left the stop I was standing at 3 minutes prior. 3 minutes ago. I'd been there for 10
Oh,
minutes. The
shit.
bus hadn't come by.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what the fuck? Okay, fine,
Right.
fuck it. I'll just walk to the next. I'll just, you know, walk along till the next set of stops, and then
Yeah.
stop there. I'm walking 2 minutes. The fucking bus drives by.
Oh, dude.
I'm like, God damn it. Luckily, I was less than like a mile from my friend's house, and I knew he had a car, and like he's working Postmates, so he's like got open schedule. So I'm like, hey, are you
Right.
free? And he's like, I mean, yeah. Can you give me a ride to where Juliana works? I'm going to be here. And he's like, yeah, give me a second. He came and he picked me up and he took me there. And I'm like, sweet. Thanks for the ride. Like, I filled him in on what was going on. And he's like, oh, dope. That's cool. Like, fucking go for it.
Yeah.
I go there. I get Juliana's car. I take it down to Portland, get the thing. Like, everything after that point just went off without a hitch. I get back. Like, I got back right around the time that Juliana was getting off work anyway. So I just wait for her to get off and we go home. Cool.
Nice.
And I'm like, hey, I've got this kit. I need to figure out how the fuck it works. And I want to make sure I get it, like, down pat. Fine. Because it all comes on, you know, they all come on sprues.
Oh yeah.
And I got to build them all. So I get to work. Or I didn't
Yeah.
get to work. Like, I built one. It's like, hey, I'm going to figure out what the fuck I'm doing. Because I'd never done this before. I'd never built one before. Completely new territory.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
awesome.
I throw one together. I pass the fuck out. I'm beat. I'm exhausted. And I wake up the next morning at like 7:30. Because it's like 10 o'clock when I went to sleep. Wake up at like 7:30. I wake up, get some food, get on it. I had 9 Space Marine infiltrators to build. It took me all day. Because
That's good.
well, it was good.
To me, that sounds good. You know,
Well,
forward
and-
progress.
Like,
Something you haven't done before.
yeah,
You know, and
it was
you're
it
just
was
like,
it was
"Alright."
all forward progress. But I get to a point, and I had like 5 of them built, and I reach out to whoever, and I was like, do I need to build like the special models in this unit because there's like a sergeant and a another special type of unit, another special type of model in the unit. So I was like, do I need to build these guys? Keep in mind, I had already built them.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I'll wait and see. And I'm sitting there and I'm just like refreshing my email every 30 seconds, just waiting. Just waiting. And then eventually I get the email back and they're like, nope, just infiltrators. And I'm like,
Hey, I see that as good practice. Yeah.
okay. So I assembled these with plastic cement. I don't know if you're aware how plastic cement works.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It literally melts the plastic on both sides and fuses it together.
Yep.
It is, in fact, possible to separate parts that have been attached with plastic cement. It is strictly possible. It is far from easy.
Yeah.
But I did it. I got all of the extra fucky parts that didn't need to be there, that weren't part of the actual, like, these are the parts that need to be there in the army, off with, like, almost no damage that I couldn't cover up. Like, I
Nice.
did, like, one chip in the front of an armor, and I'm like, slap some silver on there, battle damage.
See, that's good stuff.
I am a mini painting god.
I can't wait to... You're going to post, like, the finished product, right?
Dude, I'm, like, as soon as we're done here, I've got, like, an hour, like, an an hour and a half to 2 hours of downtime, where I'm going to do some chores, get some food, and then I'm going to stream until I'm done with these models.
So, what, like, that's,
3 o'clock?
3 o'clock when you... Okay.
Yeah. 3 p.m.
All right, I'll probably tune in for that.
I'm gonna have some chill music on, and I'm just gonna be painting up 10 Warhammer models till they're done. Like, I got the base coats done, so I got all the basing on it. Let's see if it'll actually fucking focus here.
I can kind of make that out.
Come on.
Focus, damn you!
It's focused on my end.
I can't tell, because the screen share thing's
it's tiny and shit. But
yeah,
no, like, so I got all the, because I'm very lucky that I have a paint plan to follow. Like, there was like, in these, you have to paint these a specific way, so I don't have to think about how to do it. I just have to do it. I just have to execute, which is great, because now I can just, like, I was already just gonna turn on some tunes, maybe a movie. Like, if it was just me and I wasn't streaming, I would just turn on a movie and go.
Oh yeah, you don't want to do that when you're streaming.
No. But I have music that I am, like, licensed to use on stream.
Oh, perfect. I was gonna say. Otherwise, I know Spotify actually has a couple playlists that are pretty decent.
Spotify has some playlists, but there's there's a YouTube channel that I found that just, like, they just have a constant 24-hour stream of like chill hop and just, like, chill lo-fi beats, all that good shit.
So it's not Monster Cat, is it?
No, it's literally chill hop.
Oh, chill hop. Okay.
So the YouTube channel is chill hop, and they're like, hey, we have a creator program. And I'm like, what does that look like? And they're like, as long as you, like, credit whatever music to us, you can use whatever you want.
See, that's cool. I like when people do that.
Yeah, and, like, in this video, like, I will point out that the models that I'm painting will be done and shipped by the time this episode comes out, because I have to get them where they need to go. They need to be at the Nova Open Charitable Foundation by October 1st.
Oh, yeah.
It is October 19th, or it is September 19th. That's why I'm like, just get these done. I do not have time to fuck around. I just need to get these done.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds great. I'm looking forward to that stream, so that's gonna be cool.
I'm excited to do it. I mean, even if you wanted to just hop on and we could do a live fucking one of these.
Oh, let's not go that far. Oof.
The internet's
I
not
am
ready for
not
that.
I am not joking when I say that. Like, I literally have really nothing this week. I don't know. It was a pretty boring week on my end. Um, like even work wise, I
Yeah,
had to basically work from home on whatever projects I could because
right.
they closed down the work site. So due to smoke. So I was pretty much just like twiddling my thumbs because, oh yeah, my internet was out for basically the week. So I was working off of shitty Xfinity Wi-Fi that literally dropped in and out, in and out, in and out. Like I tried, I was in meetings where it was just like people were talking and apparently too many people tried to talk at once and the internet was like, oh well, fuck me, I'm out. Good luck with that.
It was last
I
night that you're like, "Hey, my internet's back. Let's do this." And I was like, "Oh,
Yeah,
wow, okay."
dude. Props to Jesse from CenturyLink. Came by. He had just finished off a job, and he was like, "Hey, he stopped by because he saw that there was an issue here. Assumed it was something quick and simple that he could take care of, and yeah, props to him. He took care of it quick.
What was the
It
issue?
looks like I guess because painting that side of the house had to remove some layers of old paint, and essentially when they kind of unbundled the wires that were next to the gutter that were going up, they I guess they may have pulled a bit too hard, so it actually came out, so it wasn't making good contact,
Ah, okay.
and basically so the power to the overall fiber box itself had gone out, and basically he just had to go in there, kind of give himself some more slack. I guess the previous tech didn't give himself enough slack when he actually put the
Oh,
power cables in,
he just
so
did
any
it
movement.
exactly as long as it needed to be, and as soon as there
Exactly.
was a little bit of a jiggle,
Yeah, it basically came out. So I was like, fucking awesome, dude. Yeah, and that guy was great. He was fantastic. Like we were having some issues then with the having to reset up the router and everything. Or the sorry, not the router, but the modem.
mm.
And I was like, yeah, I don't know why this isn't working. Stupid me forgot what password I used for the damn thing. So I was thinking it was one like generic password that I used for something like equipment, but it was a different one. And so he ended up, because the whole COVID thing, it was pretty much like, hey, like I'm gonna stand outside, kind of give you direction. That's how they're doing stuff right now. And I'm like, I don't know why it's not working. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna go up to the PC and try to figure this out. It's like, do you want to come in? Like, none of us have been sick or anything like that. He's like, oh yeah, yeah, sure. So he comes up here and he's like, oh man, you must play games, huh? 'Cause he looks at my setup and I'm like, yeah, I was like, Steam. You don't even want to get in with that. It's probably I think I have like somewhere in the realm of
See,
like
the
400 and
the proper response to someone like that is like, "Oh, you must play games." You just look at him and go, "No,
no, just no.
no."
Because yeah, I was like, yeah, if you looked at how many games I own on Steam right now, it's outrageous. And he's just like, oh, dude, that's cool. And I was like, yeah, I stream too. And he's like, oh, nice, it's awesome. I was like, yeah. So, but we got that taken care of. That guy's awesome. I appreciate the work that he did.
I'm glad that
Um,
got worked out for you.
yeah, yeah. And I as much as I want to say shame on you, CenturyLink, for not getting it done sooner. Um, Considering all the fires and everything,
They probably been
I
dealing with some shit.
I'm assuming they're dealing with shit. Not to mention like COVID. So it's like what's
Everything slowed
so
down. Everything slowed down
everything
right
slowed
now.
down.
And like things already slow down when it's I hate that this is a thing. I hate that we have a fucking fire season now.
Well, okay. So growing up in California, there was always a fire season. That was
Fair.
never a question. So for me, like fires, this is nothing new. Although the amount of fucking fires in this country is kind of new because I don't think we've ever seen the entirety of the West Coast on fire in at least quite some time. But uh yeah, man, dude, it was bad. It was
Okay,
like
for
walking outside
for
and just
general context, the I would say the average air quality index for Oregon, Washington, and California for the last week has been over 300
oh, yeah,
easily.
yeah. There was a couple days where we were over 500. And for the most part, we never dropped below 400 until like this week.
Until
So
yesterday. Shit.
yeah, and even then, like we were high 300s before the rain, and after the rain, we're still like 100, close to 200, I think now. So
Oh wow, it's definitely worse down where you're at then, because
yeah,
I checked this morning and it was like 50.
yeah, I haven't checked, but I checked last night and it was like 120.
I checked
Um,
last night after my D&D game, and it was 16.
oh, see, that's really good.
So it was like, and that was like right after it stopped raining super hard. So
Oh, good. Yeah, no, we have come down. So now I think we're in the 30s.
yeah, just closer to normal. It's still not great, but it's
Yeah,
definitely
it's
closer to
not
what we
great,
normally
but
have.
it's not like, hey, I'm breathing and dying at the same time.
I know, right?
So that's good. That's good. Uh, but yeah, no, for a while there, it was bad. Like I would just look outside and it's like, is it foggy or is this smoke or what's going on? Because that's just how bad it was. But yeah, hopefully the worst of that's passed. Hopefully we get more rain. I'm ready to just go into like fall and winter, you know? Just give me a nice 60-degree, little bit of rainy winter. Be solid.
Just give me a solid drizzle for like 6 months
Yeah.
at this
I
point.
That sounds good. Fuck, don't give me any snow or ice or any of that bullshit. Just give me some rain. That's all I
Right.
want is rain.
So I was just reminded of another mini excursion that I went on. I hit 1 year of mini painting. I've been
Oh, nice.
painting minis for over a year, and luckily I had a duplicate of the first mini I ever painted. So I got to
Oh,
paint that
really?
again, and I'm
Oh,
sending
that's
it to
cool.
you right now.
Oh,
And
so
I'll
this
hold up.
it's like a solid progression then?
Oh yeah.
Progression pick,
Oh
if you
yeah.
will.
Like once it sends, you'll see. Yeah. I'll show it for folks playing the home game.
And for our audio viewers or listeners,
Too bad,
yeah,
unfortunately.
I'm sorry. You check
You'll
YouTube,
just have
go on
to,
Twitch.
yeah, check youtube.com. So yeah, that's the one on the left. I painted. Come on, focus up. Yeah, man.
So the left was the first
The
one.
left was the first one I ever painted.
Yeah, yeah, wow. I can like the shadow work, like the finer detail,
Uh huh.
the color,
Yeah, man.
I guess melding. That sounds good. Color melding. It
Blending.
just looks or blending. There we go. That's the word I was thinking of. I just couldn't say. Yeah.
Oh, there's the
That
focus.
looks really good.
Yeah, and then
Wow. What a difference a year makes.
I
That's
know, right?
crazy.
And it kind of helps that I went into it and is like I was just painting, right? And I was like,
Yeah.
hey, I want to try this specific technique, right? And
Right.
it's an advanced technique, but I'm like, I want to try it. I want to see what I can
Hmm.
do, and that's where I got that little owl guy. You'll check that on the Instagram,
Yep.
and I think that's the one that's above me. I can't remember. Either Instagram's above me or Twitter's above me. It's that one or that one.
I thought I don't know anymore.
Ours are below. The channel
Okay.
is above.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yes, that's right.
So like
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Anyway, check Instagram above, and you'll see the little owl dude I painted. That was my first foray into what's called non-metallic metal, where it's making something look metallic without using any metallic paints, without any paints with a metallic pigment in them. Usually it's like mica. It's the same stuff that they use in makeup and shit
Mm.
to give it that shimmer.
Yeah.
So I looked into that, and I was just like, okay. And then I like in doing that, I found a mini painting YouTuber, Miniac, that I've been talking about, and
Yeah.
he's the guy for advanced techniques. Like if you want to know how to do an advanced technique in a way that's easily explained and broken down, and like he has videos about here's all the mini painting terminology you could ever know. That's the guy to go to. If you just want like basic stuff or to see cool whatever, that's Goobertown Hobbies. And if you want speed painting tips, that's your midwinter minis. He's all about painting as painting as efficiently and quickly as possible.
Which that's crazy to me. Like I don't know. Because
Like for context, he's the guy who established the paint scheme I'm following for the charity event.
yeah,
And he was able to paint his to like high detail in under an hour
for one unit
for one model.
or one model.
One
Okay,
one specific dude, he was able to
man,
paint one of those in less than an hour.
that's crazy.
From primed to finished.
I feel like I'd have to spend an hour just looking at it, figuring out in my head how it's gonna go down. And this guy's like whipping them out in an hour.
And
like,
that's
done.
exactly it. It's a matter of prioritizing what you're doing. It's a matter of prioritizing your layers. So, you get your base layer down. That can just there are bits that you don't want to be a certain color, but you're painting your base layer first, cover the whole thing, and you're going to be messy. It's okay if you're messy. You can go back and cover it up later.
Yeah.
And then it's a matter of just being very precise and very efficient and accurate with what you're doing and where you're putting paint on the model to get it done. When you're basing, you can literally just my whole hand, my thumb and index finger was just covered in paint because I'm literally just slapping
That's
paint.
Your base coat.
Yeah, it was my base coat. I'm literally just put paint on the mini.
Yeah.
And
That's funny.
I even primed it in such a way so that it actually looked like it was lit from above. And then I just
cool.
I did 2 thin layers of blue to actually take advantage of that, so to give the upper parts of the body a brighter look, and then the lower bits in the back darker but they're still blue. So it's kind of cheats like that. It's making it look good while also being fast. And when you're painting
awesome.
when you're painting armies, speed painting is probably your best bet because it's all about doing as much as you can to make it look good with as short a time as possible. Which is neat, and I think it's great, and I do intend to paint an army, and I will probably use several of those techniques.
Yeah, that just gets me more and more excited about that figure. Like, I really, like I said, I don't want to see. I don't want to see progression pictures.
On that model, you're getting like the full deal. You're getting the advanced techniques. I'm gonna be putting like 30 plus hours into that bad boy.
And see, the funny thing is, I told you, I was like, I don't want to see any progress pics. I just want
most you get
before,
what's
after.
Right behind me, just literally directly below my microphone. That's all you get right now.
And I can't even make that out because the screen's too small right now.
I had literally all I had done is I had just finished priming it.
Yeah,
I'd gotten it because I just have rattle can primer right now because my airbrush died.
Yeah, no, I'm. That's gonna be awesome. I want that one to be the piece that like excels the mini painting business. I mean, I feel like that was a good 3D print, and just with your painting ability going at it, I feel like that's just gonna like really fucking just set it off.
Well, and that's the thing is like 3D printing in the mini space is already huge.
Oh yeah,
like a lot of the big mini painters have a resin printer.
Yeah,
like that's not resin, but
yes, but it is
3D print. It is 3D printed. But a lot of the mini painters have resin printers already, and as long as you prime it properly, it's super easy to do, and it's super easy to take care of.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess, would you consider that print, is that like the top quality of what 3D printing is right now? I'm trying to think. It's my job, but I can't ever remember.
Based on some of the things I have seen, no.
Okay. That's what I figured, but I wasn't 100%.
Resin 3D printers can get much finer detail.
Yeah. Oh,
They can't.
that's right.
Yeah, they can do much finer detail,
Yeah.
but that's about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Some of the other ones I have are pretty damn detailed. But that's something for a later time.
Yeah.
We'll bust out the 3D stuff, which I'm assuming. Actually, I wonder if I'm still under NDA for that. I'm just going to assume yes. I don't know.
Better safe than sorry.
Yeah, better safe than sorry on that. So no, you won't be able to see it. Or if we do put it up, we'll just have to do post edit where you just pixelate the hell out of it.
Right? And
Or just put like a black box, so like just a black square over it.
so it's gonna be
Ah,
completely
yes.
completely
Yeah,
irrelevant
nobody.
anyway.
Yeah, it'll be like, oh, this is completely irrelevant
I won't
to
even like
our.
try and like follow it. I will just put a black box over your entire image.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Or
perfect.
just pixelate your entire section of the screen.
Yeah, that'd be perfect. That's the kind of editing that I am looking for.
Because I don't have
Uh,
any of that fancy technology that can do keyframes and shit to follow like
how dare you, sir?
pixelated, like tits walking across the screen and pixelate as it goes. I can't do that. I just make the screen blurry.
Yeah, well, you'd probably have to freehand it, right?
No, I don't even have that.
Oh,
I mean, I could go frame by frame, but fuck that.
yeah, that'd be some dedication. Oh, speaking of things in the world, did you look at any 3080 benchmarks that came out from any of the tech tube channels or anything like that?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
did. I looked at
Okay.
Linus and Hardware Unboxed, and it's one of
Okay.
those like it's still a great card, but they kind of lied to us.
Which, let's be honest, I think a lot of people assumed that
A,
to a degree.
yeah, a lot of people assumed that, but not enough people actually believed it.
Yeah. So I think what I took away from those was pretty much DLSS is the future as far as I'm concerned.
DLSS has made huge strides since the
Yes.
20. Like, I think the biggest thing is the 20 series was such a drop
Oh yeah. Well,
that
for that
to
and the
compare
price
it
to
like
performance.
one of the biggest issues that I got into a pretty heavy discussion about it with my friends, and one of the biggest issues that people took from Linus's review of it is he only compared it to 20 series cards and the most recent AMD card.
Yeah.
But if you want a really comprehensive comparison of how the 3080 stacks up compared to most things, Hardware Unboxed did their comparison all the way back to the 970.
Yeah.
And they even included a Vega 64, which I was
that's
like,
why,
cool.
yeah, I didn't even know this still existed. Yeah, no, I do like Hardware Unboxed as far as their reviews.
I guess so I guess there's a thing that's been going around where you can flash the BIOS on a Vega 56 to make it a 64.
Oh, yeah, that's been around for a while.
Okay. I just found out about this yesterday because I was looking into, like, how can I make my graphics card stop shitting in my face?
Have you tried removing it from your face?
Yeah, once or twice. It's got range, man.
It's got range.
It's like a monkey. It'll throw it at me.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Oh, yeah, no, yeah, that's been around for a while.
But it was nice to see. Like I normally only watch Linus Tech Tips because he's generally able to condense and disseminate the information in a way that's easy to understand.
Yes.
But this time I actually went and I watched the full Hardware Unboxed review. And it was like, okay, so yes, there is improvement. And there is improvement over the 20 series, but most people are looking to be upgrading from the 10 series because the 1080 or the 1080 Ti is still the most popular graphics card on the market. Still the most used
100%.
graphics card. So people are wanting to see the comparison of, okay, the 20 series wasn't that great. The 2080 wasn't that great. I don't want to spend $1,000 on it.
Right.
Although I could totally justify spending $700 on, because it's going to be like 10 times the performance of what I have now.
Yeah. But I mean, the thing is was it Gigabyte and their Aorus lineup pretty much as we speculated was going to happen. They showed a bunch of SKUs, and there's going to be a 3080 that I'm assuming is going to be like a TI that's going to have 20 gigs of VRAM, and a 3070, which I'm assuming is going to be a TI with 16 gigs of VRAM, or 16 gigs of VRAM, and then a 3060 with 8 gigs. So,
well, and that's what
even
everybody
though
was.
people,
That's what everybody
even though
was
people
speculating.
were like, yeah, and even though people were like chomping at the bit to get these cards, it's like, why don't you just wait? First of all, that was a shit-tacular launch from Nvidia as
God,
far as supply and demand goes. Like,
sold out instantly, and they're after the fact they're like, well, we're gonna check for scalpers. You should always be checking for scalp. Like, how has
I don't.
nobody in the tech industry realized how big of a problem scalping is?
Yeah, or just captchas so bots don't buy them out instantly. The
Yeah,
stupid, silly
like
things that we've been doing for ages.
there are so many methods to prevent bots and prevent, like, a lot of the ways to prevent scalping is a little shitty, and it's the music industry and like concerts and stuff have figured it out pretty well.
Yeah.
Like, I remember a couple years ago, the Foo Fighters were on tour, and they're like, if you want tickets, you gotta wait your ass in line. Our tickets are launching at the box office. You cannot buy them online for a month after launch. And I was like,
see, that's awesome.
bravo. You have to actually go wait in line to buy your tickets so that people who want the tickets and want to go see the show and applying non-transferable to a ticket like that.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Because a lot of this, like, what sold out was the pre-orders.
Yeah.
And for a pre-order, it's super easy to say that a pre-order is non-transferable. And that's really what should be done. Like, for a physical graphics card, that's really hard to do. For a physical object, that's really hard to do. But when it comes to a pre-order for something, tie it to a name. Tie it to a card, tie it to something. Tie it to the person who bought it.
Literally, so that tie it to them.
So that only the person who bought it can redeem that pre-order.
Yeah.
And make it so that, like, you have to, like, once you purchase it, you have to go and verify that it's you with the card you purchased it with and some other identifiable information. And I mean, there's going to be some guy who's going to load up a fucking Visa gift card or whatever and just sell that information, but that makes it a lot harder. And
it's extra steps.
I do love the way that people are fighting the scalpers on eBay.
Oh yeah, the guy that wrote the bot to inflate all the prices,
just
so nobody
artificially
inflate
them. Just artificially bid everything up and then retract the bid as soon as it goes live.
Yeah, that dude's my
as
hero.
Soon as it went, like that's good shit, because at that point they can't sell the card and they can't make any money on it, so they got to put it back up and they got to pay the fees, and they're losing money at this point.
Yeah, and even Steve at Gamers Next has said, there's important things that you should spend your money on, like food and water. He's like, it's a graphics card launch. It's not something you need right now. Like, just wait for actual stock instead of the inflated low stock that obviously Nvidia has out right now.
And that's literally the purpose of what Nvidia is doing, is creating purposefully low stock to drive prices up.
Yeah, which I don't know if that's necessarily gonna, because I mean they personally will not see the higher price. I mean, they're selling at their whatever $700. But it's just, yeah, it's shitty design, and I mean, let's be real. I feel like anybody who's smart about buying this shit, they weren't looking to buy this on release day.
No,
If I
nobody
mean,
is.
I know I wasn't.
Hell
Like
no.
I'm looking at reviews. Like
Yeah.
I want to know, is it worth upgrading? And I'm curious what the 3090 will do, because they're saying that release, leaked crap right now is showing it's only 10% faster than a 3080.
Ooh, that's not
And
great.
it's not great. I feel like if your flagship is going to cost $1,500, it better be a little more than 10% faster.
Well, and
So,
that's the thing is the flagship is the 80 series. The flagship has always been the 80 card
oh, that's
because
true. I shouldn't.
the
Yeah,
3090 is filling the place of the Titan.
yeah, and well, yes, yes, yes. Yeah, no, you're right, because they are going to have. I was going to say, well, they have their Quadro whatever is coming out, but that's definitely not a
Quadros are purely production
pure
space.
pure production space, whereas
The
3090 is Titan replacement. But
Yeah, and the Titan is like it's meant for production, but it can game.
yeah,
But really, anybody who's paying attention and is actually watching what's going on is waiting for what AMD has in October.
oh yeah, which I mean, again, speculation there is, um, 16 gigs of VRAM
Mm-hmm.
on whatever card is at like 256 bit rate. And I don't know. Some people are saying that this might be AMD's Pascal moment and release something that is competitive and priced really well, that it should sell realistically
Yeah,
and
and
make profit
that's
and be good.
yeah,
But again, speculation, and
and
until October hits,
and
we're not
that's
going to
the
know.
thing is like the 50 or the 5000 series graphics cards are not bad cards.
No.
They're significant upgrades for basically anybody who's had an AMD card.
Yeah.
Like
No.
my friend was like, I just asked, I was like, what a 5600 would be an upgrade, and he's like, it's more of a side grade. And then he looked at it and he's like, oh no, it's an upgrade, because he was thinking of the 560,
Ah.
which is actually a downgrade from what I currently have. Like I looked into it,
Yeah.
and it's like that's a significantly lower card than what I have, because I do game, but I also do productive things. I edit, I
Yeah.
stream. So I need that extra power that the 560 won't have. The Vega 56 does in fact have it. And I'm just
Yeah.
waiting for what's next so that the
Yeah.
5700 cards that come out are attainable.
So you saw their card, right? The triple fan.
Mhm.
I mean, it looks, by all accounts, everybody's like, this is an actual cooler design that doesn't look like it'll suck.
Right?
So,
None of that
you know,
fucking blower bullshit that they keep
not a blower,
slinging
and
our
it
way.
actually has proper venting and everything. So, I mean, that's a step in a good direction. Um, I know Buildzoid kind of looked into it and was looking at it and was super happy with it. So, um, yeah, I mean, we'll see. I hate that we have to wait like a whole month before we get anything from AMD. I
Oh, did you see that CD
hate
Project
waiting.
did you see that CD Project Red released the system
Oh,
requirements for Cyberpunk
yeah.
2077? And you
It's
can run it
it's
on a fucking potato.
yeah, apparently you can run it on a potato. So that's awesome.
And I'm like, cool, I have a system that's stronger than their recommended.
Yeah,
And I
because well,
like
the
and
recommended, wasn't it an FX 8150 or
no,
something
the
like that?
recommended is the Ryzen 3 3300 the 3200G
Oh, that's right. Okay, that
with an
must have been
R9
bare
with an
minimum.
R9 Fury
Okay.
for
Oh, okay, yeah,
graphics.
their minimum specs are an i5 3570K or an AMD FX 8310,
Yeah,
which got, if you own an FX processor, I apologize. Um, and then, oh yeah, well, even for the graphics
I'm
card.
literally looking at where my old FX chip was.
uh,
Well, and that's
But yeah,
okay. Okay, so
it's
and I realized something. The last big game that CDPR released was The Witcher 3 back in
yeah,
2015. The
yep. Still
rec
a great game,
Still a
fantastic
fantastic
game.
game. It's getting a remaster.
It's getting,
If you own it on Steam, free remaster. Hell
yep,
yeah.
with
It's going to
ray
take
tracing
ray
and all
tracing,
that fun shit.
HDR, all the good shit.
Which,
But
damn, that's gonna look nice.
I looked at it, and in 2015, the recommended spec was the exact computer I had when I bought the game like 3 years ago.
Nice.
It was
That's awesome.
the FX 8350 and an R9 290.
That's awesome.
So this shows a trend for me. At least I have 2 data points. I can't truly confirm, but this indicates a potential trend for me that CD Projekt Red is about making their games look good without needing insane computers.
Oh yeah.
Because I mean,
Well,
like the Crisis remaster just came out, and the highest graphics level is
Yes.
literally can it run Crisis, and it's like,
and it can
and
at 30 FPS.
yeah, and that's the thing is like even the fucking 3080 can't do it.
Yeah, yeah. Which just that to me is like just bravo to them
Crisis.
and to Crisis and their dev team, and just being like, you know what, fuck it, let's just bog down every known system on Earth. I don't care. Like that's I like that they hold that title.
Like
of just,
Doom is focused on remaining optimized. They're not the guy can it run Doom. Let's make Crisis the hard game again. Because before it was like
yeah,
Crisis 3, which is still a gorgeous game and puts a load
Yeah.
on a computer. But
not
you know,
like Crisis.
now Crisis Remaster is out, and it's like just pointing and laughing
Yeah.
at fucking GPU
Yeah.
makers.
Which I love. I love the fact that they do a mix of hardware and software ray tracing and don't like stick to the norm. It's all baked into the engine.
Mhm.
Which is really,
I love
really
Linus. He's like,
interesting.
"Where's my God rays?" Yes.
Yeah, he looks at the sun. It's like, oh. Yeah, no, that was awesome. I'm glad that it runs like ass at the highest settings possible. That's what I want. Like
Right.
I feel like that's what every person wants. That is
because
in,
now
like, the
because
high-end
now we
desktop
can
space.
see how long is it going to take before we have a graphics card that's good enough to run Crisis at 60 FPS.
Because even Microsoft Flight Sim now it runs really good on a 3080.
Oh yeah,
You know, because you
I
don't
mean,
need it to run at
it
60
runs
FPS.
better on a 38. It's not a high action game, so you only
It's
need
not high
like
action.
40. So
You
it runs
only-
fine. It's not a
You only need
slideshow.
like 30 to 40. Yeah, which that game is gorgeous, by
It
the
is.
way.
It really is.
I was fortunate. I have Game Pass, so I got it for free.
Ah,
But it plays really well. But it's I don't know. I've never been a flight sim guy, so for me, it doesn't scratch any itch that I had. So it was fun to just dick around and like fly into my parents' house, and you know, just like, oh look, I live there. Here's where my family lives
Right.
here or whatever. But
yeah, there was a new form of cyberbullying is flying a plane into
Oh, yeah.
a kid's house
so
and sending
dumb.
them a screenshot. It's like, what the
That's so
fuck,
dumb.
man?
If you're offended by that, just get off the internet.
Right.
I'm sorry, because it only gets worse from there, and that's
Oh, I
not
know.
even bad in my opinion.
It's not.
I don't
It's
know.
really not.
Like, I don't know. I hate to say that there's a lot of sensitivity nowadays, but
There is. But
there is. I mean, when I was in school, it was a lot of like just like literally going for the fucking gusto. Be like, hey, you fat piece of shit. It's like, all right, well, fuck me. All right, just lay it on me. What else you got for me? You know, like,
it's Tuesday
now-
too. Are you gonna throw that in my face?
yeah. And now it's like, man, that person called me an asshole online. I'm gonna go complain to somebody about this. I mean, I understand some of it goes to an extreme, like getting a group of people against somebody online can be extreme. But at the same time,
It's actually interesting that you bring this up because I did just finish my bullying course for work.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So there, fuck. Let's see if I can remember. There are three. I know there are three factors to bullying. One is disempowerment. So
Right.
you are exerting power, or there's a power imbalance. You have an advantage over someone, and you are taking advantage of that to make them feel bad.
All right.
Repetition is another one, and I think isolation is the third. At least that makes sense. So it's
Hmm.
you're creating an other out of the victim. You're making the victim something that is inhuman, so that the people around you don't empathize. If that
Hmm.
makes sense.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Interesting.
So
Yeah.
and
I
and
don't know.
there's like and at least in Washington, I can't confirm any other states, but at least in Washington, bullying based on race, religion, creed, sexual orientation, all of those protected classes is actually a crime.
Yeah. I think it's pretty standard across the U.S., but I'm
Yeah.
sure there's some southern
And
states that disagree with me.
I know when I was growing up that was not the case.
Oh
And
yeah.
it
Fuck
didn't
no,
it
that
didn't
wasn't the case.
actually start getting into problem territory until it reached a sexual nature, which
Yeah.
that was the problem for me at least, but that actually ended up getting like 3 kids expelled.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah,
Damn.
in fucking 8th grade.
Oh God. See that eighth grade was one of those years where there was just a lot of assholes. I felt
Oh yeah, for real.
because eighth grade was like, hey, we're top of the list right now, but we're soon to be like bottom bitches again, so we better just get it all out now.
High school freshmen are the best. I shit you not. It's okay. So being a bus driver, I actually got to see those dynamics change.
Oh yeah.
So you get your peppy little kindergartners who've never ridden a bus before and they don't know what's going on, and they're
Yep.
they're excited and they're happy and they're having a grand old happy time, and they're just doing what they can to exist in the world, because fuck, they're 5 and everything's so much bigger than they are.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then like you get your first graders that are a little more rambunctious, the second graders get kind of shitty, third graders are a little more mellowed out, your fourth graders are chill, your fifth graders just don't give a fuck, they're ready for middle school. They get to middle school, they're whatever, everybody's kind of on equal ground in middle school until they get into 8th grade.
Yeah.
Like 6th and 7th graders are whatever. But then you get into 8th grade and just you get the shittiest people. You get the shittiest kids, and they go in and they just like they'll jab at any little thing they can get to. They'll push the boundaries because they're top shit. Big man on
Yeah.
campus. They're
Oh
top
yeah.
of the heap.
Yep.
And then they get to high school, and they're not top of the heap anymore.
Nope.
Becoming a high school freshman is the biggest ego slash any
Yeah.
child will ever have. You get
Like
your
unless
you get your top shit raging asshole bully kid in an 8th grade middle school, goes to high school becomes a high school freshman, tries to pull any of that shit and gets immediately shut down and put in his place. You can see the same shitty 8th grader the next school year. The next
so
school year, like over the summer, complete change in personality. And then like you get your high school seniors, they don't even want to be on the bus. They're just done.
oh yeah, they're fucking done. There's a couple instances where the shitty eighth grader can still be a shitty freshman.
Oh
And
yeah.
that is they have an older sibling, usually a brother, who's
Yeah.
already adopted them in high school. Generally, they're about a junior. I don't think they're usually a senior. I feel like senior brothers or sisters just like, I don't fucking care. Get the hell away from me. You don't exist when we're here. Um,
You're
or you've got
technically.
that, or you've got that kid who if they're smart, picks a fight with like the junior or senior bully
Yeah.
and beats the fuck out of them, and then it's like, this is my fucking world now. Like, just it's like the prison situation where they
Some
pick the
fucking
biggest
gladiator
baddest guy.
shit.
Yeah. And
Are
they
you
just
not
beat the fuck out of 'em.
entertained?
And I've seen that one specifically once, and that
I'll
was hilarious.
I'll
I
believe
just laughed.
I'll believe it, but at least in the school district I work in, for the most part, like the eighth graders immediately get knocked down a peg as soon as they get to high school because they don't know.
Which is good.
It
Because
is.
fuck
It really
that, dude.
is. And
You need to learn you're not top shit ever in life.
yep.
Like that's what that is. Because I'll be honest, the people that are the eighth grade bullies that don't change and don't get their shit knocked out of their head, that they're not ever going to be top, they turn into the shittiest adults.
Oh yeah.
Like they are the ones who are like, you can't take my freedom, or they try to pick fights with you. And they're generally the people that still live in high school. Like, oh, these were the best days, man.
Oh
And they're
yeah.
like fucking
Oh,
40 years
100%.
old. And you're like,
100%.
dude, that was 22 years
40
ago.
years
Fucking
old and
leave it alone.
still flexing in his high school varsity jacket.
Oh yeah, like I bet I could throw this football over that mountain over there. They're the Uncle Ricos. They're the Uncle Ricos, man. They're just like, if coach would have put me in, we would have won that game. So yeah. Oh, 100%.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's
what was I
those
gonna
those
say?
guys who peaked in high school that you're talking about. And they're
Oh
like,
yeah,
that
the
was,
high school peakers.
that was when it was good, and it's like, but it wasn't.
It never was.
Like the
High
people
school was
like anybody
boring.
who's even remotely well adjusted is like, yeah, high school existed. I did that for a while. I don't do that anymore. I have things beyond
Yeah.
that. I literally have two people that I'm vaguely in contact with from high
Yeah.
school that I was friends
Yeah.
with in high school.
Yeah, I don't even. Yeah, like I said, I think we covered this. Was it last week? When it was
Last
like,
week or the
yeah,
week before. Or it's just
I have
like,
a couple friends, here and there, but they're mostly relegated to like, hey, I see them on Xbox Live or Steam
Right.
or whatever.
it's like I have the one friend on Hangouts anymore that will occasionally, like the last time he messaged me, he sent me that he bought a fucking weed vape with his $1,200 stimulus check. And he's like,
That seems like a solid investment.
yeah, you do you, man. I don't think he knows I'm a school bus driver now.
Oh.
Like, and that was the thing, is because he went away to school.
Yeah.
So he went to like Penn State for a fucking fellowship, and now he lives in Austin. Because he
Texas.
got his master's
hot.
from Penn State,
Oh shit! What's he mastered in?
theoretical physics.
Oh shit!
His
nice.
his dissertation. I don't know I don't know if his dissertation was exactly this, but do you remember when gravitational waves were discovered?
Yeah.
He was on that team.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
That was his kind of focus.
Yeah.
And so like that was his thing, and he completed his dissertation, and he's now a PhD in physics,
Nice.
and he's continuing continuing work. I think he's working with University of Austin.
Oh, that's cool.
He's down there doing something. He's got like close ties to people in MIT, where his wife is going to school in Boston. I don't know what she's doing.
Shit.
His wife is going to school his wife is going to school in Boston. He's in Austin, but he has close ties with someone in MIT who I think got him on a project up at MIT, so he has regular reasons to visit Boston to see his wife.
So in other words, all I'm hearing is he's doing well.
He's doing very
extremely
well for himself. And like and that was the thing, is he was a total fuck up in high school. He graduated high school with like a 1.92 GPA.
But I bet he was bored as shit constantly.
It was one of those, like, he didn't try, he didn't feel like it was worth his time, he just didn't bother. So as soon as and then like he got out of high school, and his parents kind of gave him the like, we'll pay for your college until you fuck up. So he went, oh shit, and then he never fucked up.
I mean, to be fair though, with college, unlike every other
you have a lot more
wrong with the school system.
You have a lot more at stake when it comes to college.
But you also get to explore things you actually want to learn about. That's the biggest fucking thing. Like that's why I hated high school and grade school. It's like, okay, this is basic bullshit I don't really care about.
Because
Like,
they don't care about what you're interested in learning. They care about getting their they care about teaching you what they absolutely need to so you get good test scores.
yeah, that's all they care about. Is like, are you a good test taker? Can we basically militarize you to learn? Okay,
Yep.
congratulations.
That's
Yeah.
exactly it, and that's a fucking problem.
Oh yeah, I mean that's why I hated fucking school and why I didn't give a shit either. Like this was all shit I didn't care about. It's like, oh, if I want to learn something, I'll just fucking Google it and get some free courses and go from there.
Yeah.
Like I don't need a fucking teacher.
And that was me. I was absolutely bored in high school.
Yeah,
And
I think a
like
lot of kids are bored in high school.
I was bored in high school, and like I didn't have a good educational experience leading up to high school.
Yeah.
And it
Oh
took
well, yeah, because
it,
you
it
did the whole private school thing,
I did the
right?
whole private school thing, and I was the kid that was bullied in private school.
Yeah.
So it actually took me until I was well into my 20s before I realized that because of my experience in elementary and middle school,
Hmm.
educational institutions were triggering for me.
Yeah.
Like it
Yeah.
was actually like it put me back in that I am in an educational setting. Someone is going to come for me at some
Yeah.
point. I felt vulnerable in any educational setting. I hated it. Like if I knew I needed to go be in a class for something, I would freeze. I never realized that until I was like 28.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I know somebody else who went through the same thing. Bullied in grade school, and then fortunately though, like his parents like saw that and were like, well, then we're just gonna homeschool, and did that. And of course, like as soon as he's home, not worried about the school environment itself, like
Hmm.
everything improved, everything came up.
Oh yeah.
Like
And like
so,
the whole reason my parents kept me in private school as I was growing up, they're like, "Well, we wanted to make sure you got the best education." Did I really get the best education because I was in a constant hostile
yeah,
environment for 8 years?
yeah, yeah.
Is
Yeah,
that
that's
really a
never.
good education? If you had sent me
Yeah,
to private school, I guarantee I would have been a much better student. Or if you'd sent me to public school, I guarantee I would have been a much better student.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's some parents. Oh yeah,
It's
I guess I was fortunate. Although for me, because my private school was super tiny, dude, I was the only person in my graduating class. Like that's how fucking small this school was. I think we had at most when I was there like 25 students. So it was like on the other tick where it's like, yeah, I learned really good stuff, but like my social
yeah,
abilities were
that fucks shit up.
we're kind of fucky. I mean, fortunately for me, I just have a natural ability to talk to
Right,
people or just
you're
have people. I'm easily
generally
approachable. People feel like they can talk to me,
you're
so it's
just
like
so
whatever.
cuddly looking.
I guess so. I'm just a big old bear. Just come and give me a hug. Like God, I hope nobody clips that. That would be awful to hear that later in life. But you know, so it didn't affect me too terribly in a negative way. So I was fortunate. But still, like just I know some private schools where it's just, yeah, those fucking kids who have that holier than thou goddamn attitude
So
and
okay, so
fuck with shit.
there's one detail I forgot to mention when it comes to my private school and being attached to the church I went to.
Yeah.
My grandfather built the church, literally. Like his company constructed the building
Oh wow.
and all expansions.
So you're a legacy.
And my grandmother started the school.
Oh jeez. Yeah, so it's
And I
fuck.
even better, I graduated on the 25-year anniversary of the school. Like
Oh my
I
god.
finished 8th grade on the 25-year anniversary of the school.
Oh jeez.
And I had to
So
give a
it's
speech at the
of,
graduation
of
ceremony.
of course. Well, I mean to be fair, I did too, but I was the only person graduating,
Right,
so I
you
was
were
kind of
it,
stuck.
but like
Yeah.
I wasn't there for academic reasons. I wasn't there for whatever. I
You were
was
just
literally there because it was my
namesake.
like I had to introduce my grandmother.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I feel bad to all the people I lied to saying I'd be a teacher. I was like, fuck that, dude. I actually want to make money. It's like, yes, going through school, I now know my calling is to be a teacher. And in my head, I'm like, fuck that. I hate kids. uh, yeah.
That's funny.
Oh man, that though, like the fact that your grandfather built it, grandmother started it, so now at least you know who to blame for it all.
Right.
It's all their fault.
Right. And, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love my grandparents.
Yeah.
Like my grandfather, rest in peace. My grandmother, she's a fantastic woman. Just turned 90 back in November.
Oh, nice.
Glad we actually got to celebrate her 90th birthday. We would not be able to if she was turning 90 this year.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, you can't. I mean, you can't blame your grandparents. Obvious.
No.
It only takes one shitty person to fuck up a whole thing.
It does. It really does.
And I'll be honest. Church kids are the fucking worst. All right.
Whoa. Preaching to the choir, my dude. Preaching to the choir.
I am. But this is for anybody out there. There is so much more shit that goes on between kids in churches than fucking public schools or anything. Like, churches are probably the most inbred with hate and shit that I've ever seen. It's unreal. Like, these kids, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because their parents have to have them so indoctrinated that they just become evil, or what? Because I don't know. I think I turned out all right. I'm not out there spewing hate to the world. Right. So I feel like that's good. I feel like I
have a solid moral compass.
I'm of the mindset of, I'm pretty sure the Bible is both law and gospel, and that essentially the law was cut off and we preach the gospel for a fucking reason. And last time I checked, Jesus made sure to take in tax collectors, prostitutes, and everybody under the sun because, we're all fucking people. But hey, that's just my little take on it.
Hot take.
Show love to everybody. Don't be a fucking asshole. Or, be prepared to get your shit pushed in and get your ass kicked because you are a dick. So
yeah.
I don't know.
Sort of on that subject, I found a subreddit recently
God.
that is actually pretty interesting and fairly relevant to what you're talking about there, as Fundy Snark.
Fundy Snark.
Fundie Snark.
Fundies.
And the whole premise of that subreddit is it's talking about all of the shitty behavior of, like, the Duggar family and what those people are doing, and, like, a lot of the other super fundamental Christians are out there preaching and proselytizing and being hypocritical about that sort of thing. Where it's like they're out there and they're preaching the quote good word when is it really that good? So it's like, what is this Duggar kid doing these days? Or, there's this really fucked up family. Or, like, there's this woman who she claims to be a super good woman of God, but she just constantly brings up all of her lingerie collection. And she's like, this is great for storing my lingerie in. Who fucking cares?
Yeah. On that topic, since this tweet I'm looking at on Fundy Snark, the passing of somebody who championed actual justice and inclusion in this world.
Rest in peace, Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Yes.
I have a thing on that.
The fact that this woman decided to tweet out that Ruth Bader Ginsburg was a radical feminist who championed everything which was against God and biblical womanhood, including death to the unborn and the destruction of marriage. She was greatly deceived and caused much harm to this nation. Wow. You know what, ma'am? I'm going to go ahead and just put that out there. I'm pretty sure you've probably caused more harm to the nation than a lot of other people.
That is the first bad thing I have ever heard about Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Even before she died. That is the first bad thing I've heard about that glorious woman. She did so much for this country in the time she was on the Supreme Court. But
Oh my
and
God.
something that is very that I feel was very interesting. Let me actually pull up the article that talks about it.
I
So
just want to I just
she
want to say
she
one thing.
huh
Um, if there is a third judge installed during this whole whatever the fuck you want to call this last 4 years, um, it'll be a fully right wing
oh yeah, 7-2 full swing.
Supreme Court.
It's already
I
6. It was already 6-3. But
I mean, it was already 6-3, but now it would be officially just awful. And
so
I'm assuming non-biased, considering the people that are put in places of power.
yeah.
So
Well, that's getting into things that we talked about, not
I
talking
know
about. But
it just sucks.
so according to Jewish tradition, and Ruth Bader Ginsburg was Jewish. I looked. She was born to a Jewish man and a Jewish woman. Like, she was Jewish by birth. That's her, like, practicing all that good stuff. She died on the eve of Rosh Hashanah.
Really, I know nothing about the Jewish culture, so this is
According to Jewish tradition, a person who dies on Rosh Hashanah, which began last night, 2 weeks ago, is a tzaddik, a person of great righteousness.
there we go.
Like, so it's very telling that someone who was of the Jewish faith dies on one of the largest Jewish holidays and did the things she did for the people.
Yeah, the
She
people.
served the people. That was her job. She recognized that as her job.
Yeah,
So I think that's an interesting little tidbit. I personally am not Jewish. I very much respect the religion, and I respect the people who practice that religion. There are some very wonderful people. I have some very close friends who are practicing Jews. I mean,
that's right.
that's what
That's
they're.
right.
It's one of those things where it gets brought up in the media
Yeah.
in such a negative way all the time that it feels like a slur. But that's just it's.
It's not. They're practicing Jews. I mean, I don't think do Jewish people get upset when you call them Jews. I don't.
I mean, what else?
I'm assuming if you.
I
Well, I'm assuming if you use it in a negative way, yeah, they're gonna be upset. But
Yeah.
obviously that's what they are. They're
yeah,
Jewish people. They're
I suppose
Jews.
that's I guess you have a point there, but
I know it's just this day and age.
it's weird and like
yeah. And honestly, it explains why she got into law. So there you go.
Oh yeah, 100%. And
I mean, that's literally one of the allowed professions that a Jewish person is allowed to have is a lawyer. So
probably, but
yeah,
yes, rest
it was
rest in peace,
God damn it.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She did fantastic things.
She did a lot of great work for this country.
She truly,
It's a big loss.
I was truly sad when I heard.
Oh yeah, I had a moment of just like, I just was like, fuck. It's just like 2020. You gotta stop it now.
Fucking
Just
Jesus Christ, man! Just catch.
That's the next thing. I'm assuming he's coming down at the end of this one. Just like, all right, boys, I'm here. Let's do this.
It's like, the apocalypse isn't happening. Have you not been paying attention?
Yeah. Oh man. At this point, just end it. Might as well. Let's call this an experiment over. Start over. We know what we did right. We know what we did wrong.
Just fucking fire off the Halo, man. Wipe all biological matter from the wipe all biological matter from the universe. Just make it go away.
Yeah. Bye bye.
Start over.
The end. The end.
Yeah.
Oh man. Switching gears, because that's what we love doing here.
Oh yeah.
Which actually, this could be the title of the episode. Switching gears.
I was just gonna call it Hell of a Week.
Hell, that's actually probably better and more accurate. Dude, the PS5 launch prices. I was pleased with them.
Yeah.
I don't
no,
know how you felt.
I'm not surprised by it, and So
Honestly,
that
so
that brings up an interesting point with the PS5 launch prices compared to the Xbox Series launch
yes,
prices, because
yes,
there's reasons for the way it is.
yep.
So there's the two versions of each. There's the PlayStation 5 and the PlayStation 5 digital only. And then there's
Which
the
I will be getting a digital only. I'm just gonna say that right now.
good for you.
Yep.
I want the Blu-ray player, so that's worth
I thought about it,
that's worth the
but
$100 for me.
I know, and I was thinking about that too. But I don't buy Blu-rays, and
I
everything I
have
have,
the
I
I have
digitally own
the
everything.
the thing for me is I have Blu-rays that I don't want to get rid of.
Yeah, which that makes sense.
So it that being the case, I'm going to continue having something with
Yeah,
a Blu-ray player.
and to me that makes perfect sense. Like if I had like a Blu-ray collection or a ton of games that will still be playable on the PS5 on disc, I would get the disc version. But for
They
me,
have confirmed that 99% of PlayStation 4 games will be compatible with the 5, but nothing from the 1, 2 or 3 will.
yeah, well,
So
that
there's
I
there's
mean,
at least one generation of backwards compatibility, which is fantastic. But they've got
yeah,
the PlayStation
you
Now
got
or
PS
whatever.
Now.
They've got PS Now,
Yeah,
which allows you to play all the previous gen PlayStation games. So it's a moot point.
yeah,
I
and
mean, subscription service, but whatever. And then
it's still worth it though.
the thing is there's the PlayStation 5 and the PlayStation 5 digital only version, and then the Xbox Series X and the Xbox Series S. Both of the PlayStation 5 versions, brighten a bit. Both of the PlayStation 5 versions are functionally identical except
Yep,
for the disc drive.
that's it. That's the only difference.
On the Xbox side, the Series X is their top end, you can do up to, very key word here, up to
Yep,
120 frames per second at
at
4K
4K. Yep.
versus the Xbox Series S, which does not have the drive,
No drive. It is digital.
which is also digital only, and it can do 120 FPS at 1440.
Whoopsies.
So it's an
Um,
actually less powerful device,
yeah,
but
it's on.
at least the price reflects that. The
So
lower cost Xbox is only $300.
here's the problem, though, and leave it to Microsoft to really shit the bed on this one.
And
They are fucking up forward progress.
oh yeah,
Be- Essentially, their Series
hey,
S.
why does it matter? You can still get the Game Pass.
Well, it's true. And that's another reason why I don't need to buy an Xbox. Because they have literally said anything that comes out exclusive to Xbox will be on PC. Spoiler alert, I have a fucking fantastic PC that can basically shit on any game it wants to
Yeah,
and play it just fine. Um, so it's a moot point for me. I'm obviously just going to get the PlayStation because, uh, hello, like
PlayStation
the great.
actually has things that are exclusive to it,
Yeah, and
like Demon
great
Souls and
Demon Souls, Final Fantasy 16. Well, that's technically also
Final
coming to
Fantasy
PC, but
16
that'll
will be
be
coming to
later.
PC later, but still.
God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn.
Actually, they've
Just
confirmed that the Horizon sequel and
oh, is it
the
coming to PC?
Spider-Man sequel will be coming to the PlayStation 4 as well.
Oh, well, that's nice.
Which means, like, yes, it comes on the 5, but it also comes on the 4. So you could probably just buy it on the 4 for cheaper and play it on the 5. Which basically, the 5 is going to act like a PlayStation Pro, PS4 Pro, which.
Yeah, I mean that's whatever.
Because
But yeah,
they're talking about games for the next gen being like $80.
I don't see that happening. And here's another thing. This again. Thank you Microsoft for really fucking throwing this out there. The only reason they're 70 right now for some versions, or $100 in some cases. Thank you 2K, because basketball games need to be at 4K 120 FPS for some reason.
Because people will buy that.
They're stupid. What is it? What do they call it? Where you can buy it on Xbox One and you can own an upscaled version of it for the new console.
I think
What
they're
is it
just doing
called?
that. Like they've announced that if you own Borderlands 3 on PlayStation 4, it'll just everything you have will just port over to the 5.
Well, no, it's like where you get the game specifically made for the next gen console once it comes
Oh,
out.
like you can buy it now, and then
Yeah.
once you get the next gen console, you just have it.
Yeah, and I can't remember what they call it.
That's
It's a really
just
stupid name.
that's just backwards compatibility with extra steps.
Yeah, it's
Like, what
it's
the
really
fuck?
stupid. But that's the reason, and they're leaving it up to developers, of course, to their discretion of like, oh, what should we charge for this? So that's why we're seeing this massive influx. Personally, I think if it's coming just to a next gen console, so if it's coming to the PS5, I don't think we're gonna see price changes unless we see devs really going out of their way to try to fuck people over. Which I mean, yeah, you'll have your Activisions, your EAs, maybe Ubi. I don't know. They might have gotten better, um, trying to really fuck with the system.
But
But
I think companies like From Software, Demon Souls will be fine.
oh well, yeah, Demon Souls is gonna be fine. Demon Souls, by the way, looks fantastic. I don't know if you saw
I
the
haven't seen
gameplay.
any gameplay. I've seen brief glimpses of it, but
Oh,
the thing for me is I saw some brief gameplay from the Dark Souls remaster, and I wasn't
yeah.
impressed.
So Demon Souls, this is the complete, like from the ground up. This isn't
Complete.
just
So
a
okay.
remaster.
So
This is literally like, holy
gotcha.
shit.
So Dark Souls was a remaster. Demon
This
Souls
is like
is a
a
remake. Okay.
This is, they can call it a remaster. This is legit a remake. Like
Okay.
everything about it is not uplifted. It looks like completely new art assets remade.
Running on
It
the
looks
Dark Souls 3 engine.
it looks absolutely incredible. Yeah, I just like, holy shit. I mean, it looks better than Dark Souls 3. It looks
And I'm
absolutely
just over
fantastic.
here Bloodborne on PC when?
Or Bloodborne 2. When?
Right? Come on, From
Let's make it
Software.
happen.
It's one of
Yeah.
the most like it's literally the only reason I maintain a PlayStation Plus account is because sometimes I get a wild hair up my ass and want to play Bloodborne. That's it.
And honestly, I could give you my copy of it because I have a physical copy of it.
I don't know how that would work because I just got it for free on PlayStation Plus.
I mean, as long as you got the download or their save file on your hard drive, you should be good.
No, well that works.
I would assume. I don't think there'd be anything fucky
I
with
mean,
that.
it's the same game.
Yeah.
Yeah, the disc would just unlock it.
Yeah. So
we can see.
I think I don't know. In my opinion, I think Microsoft shit the bed on this whole ordeal.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely. The fact that they're
they
like,
can-
oh, everything that's coming out for the Xbox Series consoles is coming out on PC too.
which I mean, that's
Or,
fine.
like-
I don't think that's an issue. I think that's great. Honestly, because I think that
And that's-
inspired Sony to be like, oh, maybe we should do that.
And that's
you know.
and that's what I'm saying is like that is in fact great, but it's not great for Microsoft.
No, it is because then they
Everybody's
can
playing
sell
it
their
on
service.
Everybody's playing it on Windows.
Yeah,
Oh, and
they're
it's all
playing it
tied
on Windows.
to the Xbox.
It's all tied to the
the-
Game Pass.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's where they're making a majority of their money is the
But-
Game Pass. The biggest thing though is hardware. Like they're really shitting the bed on hardware side of things. Releasing a
have been.
cut down version of your console just because you want to be able to sell it at $299 is like, it's stupid. I mean, essentially they're just reselling an Xbox One Series X or whatever.
The Xbox
You
One
know.
X.
Yes, the Xbox. Yeah, the Xbox One X. There's literally just like they're reselling it. That's essentially what it is. If I
Without a
remember,
disc
that's
drive.
what they were comparing it to. Without a disc drive, and a lot of developers were not too happy about it because it has less RAM, which means it's getting it all divvied out differently, and developers are struggling to basically have a game that runs on their Series X, maintain and run on the Series S.
Yeah.
So it's developers aren't too happy.
When on the
about that.
PlayStation 5 side of things, it just
It's like, oh hey,
because it's
it
literally
just
the
works.
same console just without a disc drive, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
That's big brain marketing right there.
Oh, 100%. So, I mean, and this is coming from somebody who owns both consoles right now. So don't come at us with fanboyism bullshit. I don't care.
Yeah, you have both consoles and a PC. Fuck off.
Yeah, I really don't care. It literally comes down to exclusive games, and that's where Sony gets my money because I like the exclusives on that Sony releases.
And
They release good fucking games.
that's the thing for me is I don't care what console you play on. I don't care what console you have. I don't care what console you own, what games you like to play. As long as you're having fun with it, go for it.
Yeah.
As long as you enjoy what you have, do your thing. I don't care.
Yeah.
It is literally no skin off my back what console you own. Yeah, like the only time I have a problem is if someone is being like, "Well, this is better than this for this reason." Fuck off.
Yeah. Guess what, folks? I hate to tell you this, teraflops don't mean shit.
Yeah.
You can say that all you want. A bigger number is that means it wins. No, that's
No.
not all there is to
No. Because there are so much
it's,
like even
it's
in the,
how you use that power.
even
It's
back
not
to the
just the number.
yeah, even back to the graphics card discussion is like, okay, yes, this is a good, the 3080 is a good graphics card
Yeah.
in certain situations.
Yeah.
It's not as good in some games because it's not optimized for some games. Like it does better for things like CS:GO and stuff like that, and then it does not as well for things like Doom or like, with the things, it does great with the DX12, but it's not as great with Vulkan.
Yeah.
So it's all relative, and it's all dependent on how the specific thing is optimized. And I mean, and that's why I'm super thrilled with the way CD Projekt Red does things. Is part of the reason that their games take so long to release. November 19th can't get here soon enough. Hopefully it actually fucking happens this time.
Right. I actually
the reason their games take so long to release is because they make sure they are releasing a complete game on day one.
Yep.
How many CDPR games have come out with a day one patch?
Is it 0?
Pretty sure.
Full 0? Okay. The Witcher 3 may have. Hold on.
I'm pretty sure The Witcher 3 just happened. Because they don't try and optimize it for these massive monster PCs.
The Witcher 3 did have a day one patch.
Okay.
But from the look of it, it wasn't anything substantial. Like at least I wouldn't call like a 500 meg patch substantial.
That's not waiting an extra hour after you download the game to be able
yeah.
to play
it. It looked like all it did was overall stability, performance, and a little bit of AI that they changed up.
Yeah.
So nothing that would have been like holy shit game breaking essentially. So yeah, and then
they're not releasing a broken game and then having to patch it 10 times in the first month.
Yeah, that's a bad thing.
Or still apply, like, even to this day, Borderlands 3 has monthly hotfixes. Monthly patch, like they're completely changing the dynamic. The way Borderlands 3 is now is completely different from what it was when it launched. Between balancing and how things work and do, it's a completely different game, and it's just like, just make something that works.
Yeah,
because now we're in for now when it comes to Borderlands 3, we're in for a whole slew of like more patches and hotfixes because they just released a whole 4 more skill trees for all their all their characters.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's gonna totally destroy balance.
Oh yeah.
And people are gonna get super happy with this build that they figured out at level 65 with the new skill tree, and then the next month, Gearbox is gonna release a patch that completely ruins it.
Yep, and I'm just gonna laugh. I still need to play through that, but
and that's part of why I'm like, it's great that the devs are paying attention to their game and making sure that it's still fun and dynamic for the fan base, but at the same time, that kind of just ruined the game for me.
Yeah, changes like that, it's just Yeah. At some point, you just need to be like, all right, look, you either need to tell us that this is what's going to happen or cut it off at some point. But I don't know. I don't know. Are they seeing it as like a games for service type deal where it's like, let's say like Destiny or Destiny 2, where it's like, oh, let's release this and keep the train going.
A little
But
bit. Like they're like it's part of it is they're trying to keep it fresh as it
yeah,
goes
but
on.
it's kind of sounds like it's backfiring and it's pissing off the community. So
It's pissing some people off. Like the oh, hi Birdie.
yeah, there's a bird. She decided she had to fly over here. Where are you? I'm looking at the wrong camera. There we go. What are you doing? What are you doing? You gonna talk? Maybe thinking about it, huh? What are you saying? Unsure. All right, go back to your mother.
Cute.
Yes, she loves trying to eat my headphone cable, so it's her favorite pastime.
Yeah, I love some cockatiels.
Yeah, she's good though. She's smart. That's all that I care about.
Yeah.
Way better than the stupid parakeets that I don't care about. So
Parakeets are their own problem.
they're just so loud and
They
obnoxious
are.
and
They
don't
really are.
they don't do anything.
Right?
Like if they did stuff, it'd be one thing, but
Like some of my like I'm subscribed to the subreddit Party Parrots
oh yeah.
because they'll like they'll regularly show like cute little like conures and cockatoos and African greys doing funny shit. Like I love
Yeah.
when cockatoos lose their shit. It's so funny. Like I love when they get all so super excited and get all frilled up and they're like, "What's happening?"
Oh yeah. One thing she does is if she gets mad because she likes going for toes. She doesn't think that toenails belong on people's feet, so she'll like bite at them, and be like, "Why is this here? What the fuck is this thing doing here?" And so if you don't let her do that, she starts to get all pissed off and she'll just like start like angry screaming. And if you just look that up on like YouTube with just like a cockatiel
Oh yeah,
screaming,
no,
it's like
they'll go nuts.
it's like a fucking the cutest battle cry that you could ever hear from an animal.
Yep.
It's just like, oh, look at you, you're so big and tough. So, yeah. But yes, that's the cockatiel. She's pretty good. She doesn't do much. Although, oh my god, sometimes she'll just sit on your shoulder and just let you know that she's there, man. Fucking just starts whistling in your ear. You're just like, yes, thank you. Yes, you are loud. Thank you. Okay. Let's not do that directly into my ear canal. That'd be awesome.
What were we talking about before the bird flew on your
For,
head?
for the bird flew on my head. Um Borderlands 3 constant updates.
So I do think they are sort of doing the games as a service thing, and from what I can tell, I am subscribed to all the Borderlands subreddits, Borderlands pre-sequel to Borderlands 3, like all of them. I think the only one like the only Borderlands game I haven't finished is Tales from the Borderlands. It's just because I'm not a super huge fan of the Telltale series games.
Like that was a pretty good one. I
The
thought,
Wolf
though,
Among Us was great, and I know they tell great stories. I just the pacing is so weird for me, and it's not my thing. I might watch a let's play of it at some point, but
yeah, there's one specific in that game.
But
fantastic.
in Borderlands 3, the subreddit, the general consensus is that people are very happy with the fact that the game is consistently being updated because it's providing a lot of good content on YouTube because there's all the YouTubers who are known for putting out build guides. Here's how to make a super awesome build. Blah, blah, blah. It's got them working constantly, so it's helping creators and it's keeping the community engaged by like, these are the issues we're having, this is what's going on, I like that this changed, I don't like that this changed. So it shows that the devs are actually listening, which is nice to see, but at the same time, it's just too much. I don't
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I mean, we've had that talk before with Borderlands 3, and it's unfortunate. Like I said, I think it came out too late, and the protagonists being angsty teenagers, and them writing them as angsty teenagers. I don't know. They come
As
off
well as
as
having the character that you're propping up also be an angsty teenager.
yeah, it's just
It's
kind of
just-
like, fuck, I hate teenagers.
Hey,
You know,
dear Gearbox, we hate angsty teenagers,
yeah, bring back Handsome Jack. That's fine.
right? But we killed him in 2.
It's video games. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, fair.
He actually went through like some sort of portal
Right.
to some other vault, and now he's back.
Yay. Well, we're at about a wrap-up time now.
Are we?
It is that time.
Is it that time already?
It's
Jeez.
an hour 35.
Wow.
That's what we do.
That's what we do. Man,
But despite it
that
being
one
a-
kinda
a-
flew by.
Fairly uneventful. Well, relatively. It's uneventful for you. Extremely
uneventful
eventful
for me.
for me.
Yeah, you worked your ass off. So,
And I'm still going.
yeah,
I got an hour and a half before I go live. But
excellent.
yeah, no, in that whole time frame, we had a good chat.
Yeah,
And
covered some things. We
eh,
do what we
that's-
always do.
yeah, right.
We start, we branch out, go several places, and then we converge.
Right? And yeah, we'll catch you guys next time.
Next time, check it out.